to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is a reminder for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Kalle, have you learnt how to play Jenga yet?
Yeah, I googled it and I realised I do know Jenga. Yeah, there's some right nutters running around here, eh?
What was that kid going on about?
I'm not sure. He wanted Jenga off me. I wasn't sure if he was referring to something very, very different, but seems to be a board game.
I think people will know what you're referring to. Kalle, just sum up that night. Some crazy, wild fights tonight.
That's what we expect from a wild Misfits night up in Sheffield. I mean, that Slim Ryan Taylor fight, go back and look at that second round. If you haven't watched the show, that second round is craziness. But starting from the first night, the heavyweight fight, where both were on the floor. No, was the heavyweight fight? No, it was another. It was the Ginty JMX fight. That one, they're both on the floor in the first round. Interesting. Don't see that too often. You saw the female fight being won by Astrid Wett. I think that surprised a few people. And yeah, I mean, Jay Swingler then putting Churdy to sleep, which some people thought, is he going to come out and really box the other guy? But that Swingler looks like he's been training good. I think he's been training with some of the Ingle gym, and he looked the part.
Some criticism online about the Astrid Wett fight and the matchmaking with Keely. Do you want to respond to that?
I haven't seen it. I'm not that quick. Just on the press conference, what was the criticism that
I guess, I mean, it was quite a one-sided fight.
Yeah, but I thought, first of all, I thought that everyone was going to be. I thought they were all backing Keely. I mean, neither of them have really boxed for long. They've trained for this fight, and that's it. So they've got no previous. So there was a total novice fight, and that happens at novice boxing, you know. So, I mean, there's not really much to say. Going into the fight, I thought that Keely was the favourite, so I thought it was upset of the night, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an expert on it. They've only trained for the build-up to this fight. They've just started, so it's totally novice boxing. And yeah, she decided to retire after a round. I think she had something with her jaw. So,
just had a press conference there with KSI, and see, a lot was made about the Jake Paul fight potentially happening next year. Is that the end goal for you guys, for Misfits, for DAZN, to get that fight on with KSI and Jake Paul next year?
Not at all. Not at all. It's a big fight. It's the biggest fight to make in that space. So of course, to a certain degree. But what we're doing is building a series. Tonight was 002. Next week we go to 003. We had 001 at the 002. 003 will be in Texas. In Austin, Texas. Then we're going 004 in January, which is a very big one again. Like I said, I think the biggest, I know if we pull off what we want to be pulling off, will be the biggest crossover event show that's ever happened. That'll be in the States. And then we roll on, 005, 006 and so forth. So it's trying to create also for the fans that they see these faces again. You know, a lot of them tonight had pro debuts, so they'll be back, or they won't be back, but they'll be, they grow the names within that segment.
Okay, just quickly before you go, because I know you and Nissa are going to hit the motorway and get home tonight. In terms of Chris Eubank Jr.'s future, I think there's a lot of speculation of whether he wants to go back down to 157 if the Conor Benn fight can materialise again, pending Conor Benn's situation and the investigations. What's his frame of mind? Does he just want to fight someone else and not make 157?
Chris's frame of mind is always the same. He wants to fight, and he wants to fight in big fights.
What I'm saying is he willing to go for that process again of weight cutting?
Haven't had the discussion. Not the appropriate time, I'd say, to be having that discussion right now. The options we're looking at are not at 157. And, you know, we'll see what comes out of the other side. At the same time, we're already planning other things. So, you know, we'll look at that because we're not going to sit around. I mean, it's all good that the board have announced yesterday that there's a formal investigation on, you know, 3 weeks later. So that part is moving for our taste far too slowly. You know, I understand there has to be a full investigation. It's from their side, I guess, a very serious situation. There's a career on the line. They have to take it step by step. But we can't make our career or Junior's career dependent on that. And when I hear that the investigation's only starting now, I don't even know what that means. We haven't had anyone reach out to us from the board on that. We just saw the press statement. So, you know, it's again disappointing. You know, it's disappointing. It's you know, can at least inform Junior where we're at. You know, but like I said, we were together Monday, Tuesday, and we'll have a plan in place next week.
KALLE SAUERLAND, thank you very much for your time all week. I think we interviewed you every day, Wednesday to Saturday night.
Yes, Umar, I'm looking forward to getting home and getting rid of you for a couple of days. But Frankfurt next week, I'm not sure who you lot are sending out.
Oh, we've got someone there.
I know, big show in Frankfurt next week. IBO, light heavyweight championship. You can't get away from these lunatics. I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep.
Top man, KALLE. Thank you, mate.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.